Ever since the first dinosaur fossil was discovered in the early 1800s, humans have been fascinated with these reptilian ancestors. Though they walked the Earth hundreds of millions of years ago, these creatures have captivated the human imagination for centuries. But the average person knows very little about these ancient organisms. Today we're exploring 10 things you didn't know about dinosaurs. Most people think of dinosaurs as part of an unbroken lineage with reptiles, ruling the Earth for millions of years. But it turns out separate species of reptiles established dominance eons before the creatures we think of as dinosaurs, like the Tyrannosaurus rex, Velociraptor, and Stegosaurus. Scientists widely believe Hylonomus was the first species of reptile on Earth, rising from the bogs and swamps 315 million years ago. This creature had 4 feet, scaly skin, and laid eggs, all qualities that we associate with reptiles. This creature ushered in an era when amphibians shrank from prominence and reptiles prospered. These creatures, known as pelycosaurs, had many resemblances to dinosaurs and are often miscategorized as dinosaurs, but they have their own distinct qualities. They were followed by therapsids, a bizarre mixture of reptile and mammal, more than 100 million years later. Then came the archosaurs. Most scientists consider them the precursor to dinosaurs. They looked similar, but the teeth of archosaurs were more firmly set in their jaw sockets, which would have been an evolutionary advantage, and it's possible that they were quicker to evolve upright bipedal postures. And bear in mind that this was more than 200 million years before the first dinosaurs arrived. Contrary to popular belief, there were several dynasties of bloodthirsty lizards living on Earth before dinosaurs had even evolved. Humans are good at a lot of things, but putting time in perspective is not one of them. It's not our fault. The scope of time in human history, and even more so in natural history, is so vast compared to the scope of our life in recent history that it's almost impossible to comprehend. If the Earth formed at midnight and the present moment is the next midnight, 24 hours later, modern humans have been around since 11:59 p.m., the equivalent of 1 second. And what about dinosaurs? They don't show up until 10:56 p.m., meaning that the Earth existed for billions of years before their appearance. To put it in perspective, the origins of life only appeared around 4 a.m. For the first epoch on Earth, the planet was being pummeled by a seemingly constant stream of meteors, meaning that life could not form until the barrage was complete. Single-cell organisms showed up around 2 p.m., followed by jellyfish at 8:48 p.m. and trilobites at 9 p.m. Looking at ancient civilizations like the Greeks or the Egyptians may seem like an exercise in time travel, but in truth these cultures are relatively recent in the scope of Earth's history. Modern birds appeared to emerge in a snap of evolutionary time, but new research illuminates the long series of evolutionary changes that made the transformation possible. Modern birds descended from a group of two-legged dinosaurs known as theropods, whose members include the towering Tyrannosaurus rex and the smaller velociraptors. The theropods are most closely related to avians generally weighed between 100 and 500 pounds, giants compared to most modern birds, and they had large snouts, big teeth, and not much between the ears. A velociraptor, for example, had a skull like a coyote's, and a brain roughly the size of a pigeon's. The hunt for the ancestors of living birds began with a specimen of Archaeopteryx, the first known bird, discovered in the early 1860s. Like birds, it had feathers along its arms and tail, but unlike living birds, it also had teeth and a long bony tail. Scientists quickly found links in the DNA between ancient bird-like dinosaurs and modern-day birds. They even found the connection in poultry, meaning that the modern-day chicken is actually a descendant of the velociraptor. It's difficult to believe, but these creatures that once ruled the Earth have been reduced to the chicken nuggets in a Happy Meal. Nicknamed titanosaurs for their massive stature, many dinosaurs dwarfed modern-day animals. Though the blue whale is still the largest animal in the history of the world by mass, many other reptiles were longer and taller. One of the largest titanosaurs, possibly the largest according to some sources, was Dreadnoughtus. It had a total length of roughly about 100 feet and an estimated mass of about 65 tons. Dreadnoughtus is known from rock deposits in southern Patagonia, Argentina, that date to about 77 million years ago. However, Patagotitan majorum may have been the world's largest terrestrial animal of all time, based on size estimates made after considering a haul of fossilized bones attributed to the species. The collection included a femur that measured 8 feet from end to end. Because of its huge size, Patagotitan was simply known as the Titanosaur between its initial discovery in 2014 and its formal naming in August 2017. It is thought to have weighed approximately 77 tons and measured 122 feet long, but some researchers believe these are overestimates. And then there's the Argentinosaurus, native to what is now Argentina. This creature measured an unreal 131 feet in length. Though most people picture all dinosaurs as a horde of bloodthirsty carnivores, the truth is that actually represents a very small fraction of the total population. But a new study of the diet of 90 species of dinosaurs challenges the conventional view that nearly all dinosaurs hunted prey, especially those closest to the ancestors of birds. The researchers used a host of data to confirm these results. Those included fossilized feces, preserved stomach contents, marks on the teeth, and even stones inside the stomach that would have been used to digest vegetation. The researchers used statistical analysis to figure out which of these bits of evidence were most strongly correlated with eating meat or eating plants, and then look for other dinosaurs that also possess those features. According to the scientists, once we linked certain adaptations with direct evidence of diet, we looked to see which other theropod species had the same traits. Then we could say who was likely a plant eater and who was not. Applying their data on diet, the researchers found that 44 theropod species distributed across 6 major lineages were eating plants, and that the ancestor to most feathered dinosaurs and modern birds had probably already lost its appetite for flesh alone. The use of a toilet may seem like a modern invention, but scientists have found 240 million-year-old communal latrines that contain 94 fecal samples per square meter in various shapes, colors, and sizes. These reptile restrooms are more than 200 million years older than previous known examples of such communal behavior in animals, and they represent the first earliest evidence of a large animal species other than mammals exhibiting such behavior. The use of communal latrines has only been known for some recent mammals, such as horses, tapirs, and elephants, and for some birds, such as the ancient ostrich-like moa. The researcher revealed that one purpose of communal latrines would be to keep parasites in one place, on the principle that you don't poo where you eat. He added, it's also a warning to predators. If you leave a huge pile, you are saying, hey, we are a big herd, watch out. The fact that such an old and large dung pile was able to survive for millions of years is credited to a deluge of volcanic ash which preserved it over hundreds of millions of years. Of course, it is impossible to know exactly what caused this kind of behavior, but scientists can infer much information using context clues. Recent excavations in China's Liaoning province have uncovered a well-preserved complete skeleton of a dog-sized mammal, alongside a cat-sized mammal that had the remains of a young dinosaur fossilized in its stomach. The findings not only are the first evidence of a mammal eating a dinosaur, but also open the door for more speculation on the size and development of mammals. Scientists say the animal's last meal probably is the first proof that mammals hunted small dinosaurs some 130 million years ago. It contradicts conventional evolutionary theory that early mammals were timid chipmunk-sized creatures that scurried in the looming shadow of the giant reptiles. In this case, the mammal was about the size of a large opossum, and the victim was a 5-inch parrot dinosaur. We don't know if the cat-sized mammal caught the young dinosaur or scavenged it. These details aren't recorded in the fossils. But one thing is clear: mammals could kill and eat dinosaurs if they were small and vulnerable enough. It appears that at least some smaller dinosaurs had to look over their shoulders for snarling, meat-eating mammals claiming the same turf. Even the biggest and fiercest dinosaurs were food sources for other organisms, from giant crocodilians to parasites and bone-boring beetles that took up residence in dinosaur carcasses. Even mammals sometimes dined on dinosaur. The world of Jurassic Park may not be as distant as we previously believed. In Jurassic Park, dinosaurs were brought back to life after scientists grabbed their DNA from a bug encased in amber. Not a bad idea, but in real life, 66-million-year-old DNA would be way too degraded to be of much use, says Hans Larsson, a paleontologist at McGill University. Maybe there is a way, but we haven't found it yet. Larsson believes that by flipping certain genetic levers during a chicken embryo's development, he can reproduce the dinosaur anatomy, he told AFP in an interview. Though still in its infancy, the research could eventually lead to hatching live prehistoric animals, but Larsson said there are no plans for that now, for ethical and practical reasons. A dinosaur hatchery is too large an enterprise. The idea for the project, Larsson said, came about during discussions with renowned American paleontologist Jack Horner, who served as technical advisor for the Jurassic Park films. Horner recently wrote a book entitled How to Build a Dinosaur, in which he refers to the embryo experiment as part of a quest to create a chickenosaurus. So far, the project has been a partial success. Larsson has managed to create chicken embryos that are growing teeth and long, scaly tails. Perhaps it is just a matter of time before a living dinosaur hatches from a chicken egg. The Ornithomimus was an ostrich-like dinosaur with a toothless, horny beak, a small head, large eyes, a relatively large brain, a long neck, long tail, long legs, and hollow bones. It was about 15 to 20 feet long and 6 to 8 feet tall. About half of its length was its neck and tail. It had short arms with 3 clawed fingers on each hand, and long legs with 3 clawed toes on each foot. A long tail acted as a counterbalance and as a stabilizer during fast turns. Visually, it was not a remarkable dinosaur in any way, but when the ornithomimist began running, it proved that it was truly singular. Ornithomimist not only resembled an ostrich, but it presumably behaved like an ostrich as well, meaning it could hit sustained running speeds of about 30 miles per hour. Since all the evidence indicates that this dinosaur was a plant eater, it clearly used its blazing speed to escape from predators, such as the numerous raptors and tyrannosaurs that shared its late Cretaceous habitat. All dinosaurs did not die at the same time. There are 335,000 known species spanning a period of 165 million years, and no one kind lived for more than 2 million years or so. The only reason we think of dinosaurs as going extinct at one time, 65 million years ago, is that this last group of dinosaurs didn't get replaced later on by another group of dinosaurs, as had happened before. Everyone knows that about 65 million years ago, a massive asteroid hit the Earth and wiped out all the dinosaurs. Except this is not the whole story. Most species of dinosaurs went extinct in the aftermath of the impact, but some survived. Those survivors continued on, breeding and evolving over the epochs. Today, there are at least 10,000 species of dinosaur ancestors that roam the planet, and they come in a huge diversity of sizes, shapes, and colors.